And our number 9 spot goes to Sergio Corbucci once again. This is a film from 1968 starring Franco Nero, Tony Musante, and Jack Palance as a great villain once again. I mean, Jack Palance always plays great villains. And this is The Mercenary, El Mercenario, in which Franco Nero plays a... No, I was gonna say Swedish, but that's the role he played in Compañeros. He plays a Polish mercenary, hence the title, who hires himself out to a Mexican revolutionary played by Tony Musante while they're being chased by Jack Palance's villain, Curly. And a wonderful score once again by Ennio Morricone. Again, never a bad score in my opinion. And this is one of my all-time favorites. I always loved The Mercenary, and if you're getting into the genre, I highly recommend. This is recommended viewing material. It really is. So let's take a look at The Mercenary, El Mercenario from 1968.
He sells death to the highest bidder. He'll sell your life for what he thinks it's worth. He is the mercenary. If you're not ready to buy, be ready to die. Mercenary. He aims for the money. His gun does the rest. Franco Nero, Tony Musante, Jack Palance, Giovanna Ralli.
The next film is also from 1967, if I'm not mistaken. This one was done by Sergio Solima in his second spaghetti western. He directed Free, and this one stars Thomas Millian once again, wearing a wonderful wig in this film, and John Maria Volonté. This is Face to Face, with a brilliant, haunting score by Morricone and a fantastic, superb direction by Sergio Solima, and great performances by the two leads. This is a wonderful film that is highly underrated, and you should check it out if you're getting into this genre. And let's play some clips. That was a great one. Next up is, yeah, from here on out, pretty much all of these films. I cannot recommend them enough, you know. The next one is from 1966 and is an essential watch into the Euro Western, spaghetti Western genre. This one is directed by Sergio Corbucci once again, and arguably his most famous effort, Django from 1966, starring Franco Nero. Enough said. Roll the footage.
A century ago, on the low hills along the border between the southern states and turbulent Mexico, a mystery man appeared. A man with a sad, impenetrable face.
He's been alone. Django! Django, have you never loved again? Love will live on, oh, life must go on, for you cannot spend your life regretting. Django! Django!
Who was that man? What was his secret?
It's not important. And if I bothered you, will you accept my apology?
He was pitiless in revenge, quick to decide and a master of every weapon. A man everybody would like to have seen dead.
Forever Django.
Yeah, his name is Django.
When there are clouds in the sky.
Django, the title of a film you'll never forget. Django.
What can top Django? I can only think of one other film from Corbucci. It's from 1968. It's The Great Silence, starring Jean-Louis Trintignant, yeah, French guy in a spaghetti western, and Klaus Kinski once again as a fantastic villain, this time playing the role of Loco. And this film is a fantastic, this is the best spaghetti western in my opinion that wasn't directed by Sergio Leone, and we're gonna get this Leone after this. But in The Great Silence we follow Jean-Louis Trintignant's mute gunslinger named Silence, because he doesn't talk. And bounty hunter Loco, played by Klaus Kinski, who is just a brutal, sadistic villain. We got also genre regular Frank Wolf in this film as the bumbling kind of comedic sidekick type of character as the sheriff. And this is a dark, bleak film set in the snow. I love this film. Play the footage because this is a great one. Fantastic, brilliant, haunting score by Morricone once again, and check it out.
Once my husband told me of this man. He avenges our wrongs. They call him Silence, because wherever he goes, the silence of death follows.
Tell me something, old-timer. Are we within the jurisdiction of Snow Hill County?
Yeah. You can arrest or hang anyone you want.
Thanks a lot.
Loco's the man that you want. He killed my husband. How much you want for him?
Say, boy, you're trying to force me to draw, ain't you? But I'm not losing my temper of that, I'm sure.
Have you forgotten who he is?
He picks a fight when somebody draws and he shoots him.
But you're the man he's here to get.
Sooner or later, you're gonna meet up with someone faster than you.
Well, that'll be an amusing day.
Well, if you're a spaghetti western fan, you probably know what hasn't been mentioned yet. That's right. We are entering the top 5, and from here on it's all Sergio Leone's films. I was actually inspired to do this top 20 form because I did a top 10, and I actually had to bundle up all the Leone films on the number 1 spot. Because I just wanted to recognize the other ones also in the top 10. But now with the top 20 format, I'm gonna give a shout out to the Spaghetti Western Database, which is a fantastic website. I think everybody should check out if you're getting into this genre. They have a list of spaghetti westerns from least favorite or, well, like a essential watching list, top 20. And I was like, hey, I can do a top 20 and still have all the Leone films separately. Of course, they're gonna take up the top 5 because when it comes to spaghetti westerns, to quote Clint Eastwood and Eli Wallach from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, there's two kinds of spaghetti westerns in this world: those directed by Sergio Leone and all the others. So yeah, top 5. We're now gonna talk about the granddaddy, the grandmaster of this genre, Sergio Leone. At number 5, we have his most unrecognized and unknown western, actually. This is Gio La Testa, or Duck You Sucker, Fistful of Dynamite, or is it Once Upon a Time the Revolution? Anyway, this is a fantastic overlooked film. Out of all the Leone films, it is the lesser one, but it's still a great one. And this one has James Coburn, Rod Steiger, fantastic score once again by Ennio Morricone. Very dreamlike, very melancholy type of score, and we're gonna play a few clips and let you hear the brilliant score by Mr. Morricone, Il Maestro. And yeah, Fistful of Dynamite, Duck You Sucker at number 5. At number 4, we got Sergio Leone's second film into the Dollars trilogy. This is For a Few Dollars More. A lot of people would consider this a bit higher, but for me, I always like the other trilogy films, and of course, there's another film, which will be, yeah. Anyway, For a Few Dollars More, still a kick-ass film. This one has Clint Eastwood and Lee Van Cleef. This is Clint Eastwood's second spaghetti western. The second one under the Man with No Name trilogy. This is a fantastic film where you have Clint Eastwood and Lee Van Cleef as two bounty hunters who are after the same prey, played by John Maria Volante, by the way. Great performance there once again. A lot of great faces in this film. Klaus Kinski even makes an appearance in this one. Great score by Ennio Morricone. I mean, that just goes without saying at this point, because, yeah, he's always great. Anyway, For a Few Dollars More at number 4. At number 3, we have the first spaghetti western directed by Sergio Leone, and the most influential, the one that really got the genre kick-started into high gear in terms of popularity and recognition. Pretty much after this film, everybody started copying the same formula laid out by Sergio Leone. We're talking, of course, about Per un pugno di dollari, or A Fistful of Dollars. 1964, the most influential film. This one kind of set up the whole thing, and I think it's one of the most stylish spaghetti westerns. Of course, this one kind of bred life to the entire genre. Like I said, everybody tried to copy this one, and but nothing beats the originals. It is, of course, based on Yojimbo, the Japanese samurai film by Akira Kurosawa. That kind of came back to bite Leone in the butt, so to speak, because he didn't actually make a huge profit of it, thanks to the lawsuit that followed by Mr. Kurosawa. And yeah, this is an influential film. I cannot recommend it enough. A Fistful of Dollars at number 3, 1964 by Sergio Leone. Let's look at a few clips. Let's go to number 2. I think a lot of you know what's coming up. We only have 2 films left. Like I said, they're all gonna be Sergio Leone. There's only 2 films of Leone left. And if you have guessed that my number 2 spot is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, you guys are actually right. Yes, it turns out there's one that I just like a bit more than The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, but it's so close. It was really hard to pick. But my number 2 spot goes to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Il Bueno, Il Brutto, El Cattivo, as the Italian title is, which actually translates to The Good, the Ugly, and the Bad. But The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly just sounds a bit better, and this is the third collaboration between Clint Eastwood and Sergio Leone, and the last. Eli Wallach is added into the cast here, and you also got returning from A Few Dollars More, Lee Van Cleef. Awesome score by Ennio Morricone. I freaking love this film. Great showdown at the end. The final 20 minutes is just, you're in there, you're sucked into the film. Such a great marriage there of music and visuals. Let's take a look at The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, because yeah, this is a masterpiece. Once Upon a Time in the West. Yes, that's right. Once Upon a Time in the West. 1968 by Sergio Leone. I think it's his masterpiece. It's very hard to choose between it and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, but ultimately, if somebody were to pull a gun to my head and make me answer that question, I think I would go with Once Upon a Time in the West, but like I said, it's a very tough one. For my money, my number one and number two pick are equally as good. But Once Upon a Time in the West is truly an epic masterpiece. Great direct. I think it's Sergio Leone's direction at its best. He really takes some great, makes some great camera movements there, and the way he frames the scenes, and the way Bronson enters into the frame. And yes, because this is a great cast. You got Henry Fonda, Jason Robards, Claudia Cardinale, who is beautiful as hell. I think she's one of the most beautiful women on the planet. And then you have Charles Bronson. 101 Bronson. I mean, this is the film that got me into Charles Bronson. I think it's Charles Bronson's best film, his best performance. He says so much while still saying so little. The music by Ennio Morricone, I think, is one of the most beautiful soundtracks on the planet. No disrespect to people like Hans Zimmer and John Williams, but for me, there's only Morricone. I love this man, Il Maestro Ennio Morricone, the most fantastic music ever, with Once Upon a Time in the West, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. If I could show you this entire film, I would. It's that good. But unfortunately, that's all we have time for. So I'm gonna leave you with a few clips of Once Upon a Time in the West, and I'm gonna say adios for this video, and I hope you enjoyed. And of course, now let's roll the footage for Once Upon a Time in the West, or as it is known in Italian, C'era una volta il West. So yeah, here we go. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the remaining clips.